Have you ever sat down in your chair, barely had time to exhale, when Milo, the male cat in your home, suddenly appears, jumps straight into your lap, spins once to find a spot, then sprawls right across your keyboard, purring as if his entire world is wrapped up in you? Meanwhile, the female cat, Luna, chooses a completely different script. She quietly climbs onto the back of the chair, the bookshelf, or the windowsill, lying still at a distance just close enough to watch, but far enough that if anything feels off, she can retreat in a single spring. They live under the same roof, hear the same food cabinet door open, breathe the same air, yet the way the two of them see the world and see you is strangely different. If you're watching this video with a fluffy little prince or a whiskered princess beside you, pause for a moment, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tap the notification bell. Then leave a comment below with a question you've always had about male and female cats. Because there's a good chance that all this time, you've been putting completely wrong labels on them. Male cats are affectionate, female cats are moody. Male cats are the troublemakers, females are the gentle ones. Or even you can tell a cat's personality just by its sex. The truth is much more complex and far more interesting than that. Behind every head bunt, every time they lie right in the middle of your path, or every stare from up high, is an entire system woven from hormones, evolutionary roles, and early life experiences. Those are the things that make male cats more likely to cling to people, more likely to fire shots to guard territory, more likely to dash toward the door to explore, while female cats tend to favor high spots, prioritize stability, react more cautiously to any change at home, and love in a selective, quiet, but deeply loyal way. In the next parts, we'll peel back each layer one by one, from how males and females draw territorial lines, combined with marking and peeing in the wrong place, how they show affection, how they play and hunt, to their escape attempts outside, their sensitivity to social stress, and finally the moment of neutering or spaying, when the noise of hormones settles down and a cat's true personality has the best chance to show clearly. When you put all of this together, you'll start to see what comes from being male or female, what comes from how we raise them, and what simply comes from humans, misunderstanding the language of cats. Number 1. Territory and marking, when Milo sprays the cabinet while Luna claims the top of it or pees in the wrong spot. In the middle of the night, the lights are off and the house is quiet. You're asleep in your bedroom, door slightly ajar. Out in the living room, Milo's workday is just beginning. In the camera inside Milo's head, your apartment is not divided into living room, bedroom, kitchen like humans see it. It's a dense map of scent layers. The corner near the main door is a border, the base of the shoe cabinet is a landmark, the gap under the door is where the outside world sneaks in. Milo walks up, takes a deep sniff at the gap under the door, and picks up the scent of a strange stray cat that passed by the night before. His brain immediately flips into defense mode. He backs up half a step, tail straight up and trembling slightly, and sprays a tiny stream of urine on the shoe cabinet. To you, it's just peeing in the wrong place. To him, it's an invisible sentence. This is my home, do not cross. Luna is different. The camera in her head doesn't run along the floor. It looks from above. She chooses the bedroom windowsill, the top of a cabinet, the back of a chair, places that give her a wide view and a safe escape route. She rarely leaves scent on walls, but she claims territory through height and position, lying right across the path from the door to the bed, taking over the softest pillow, or just flicking her tail lightly when Oscar walks past, enough for the other cat to adjust his route. In Luna's world, keeping a quiet, elevated station is how she controls order in the home. However, if the litter box was crowded yesterday, the new litter smells strange, but house suddenly gets noisy or the daily routine is disrupted, her brain may quietly decide that a soft spot like the bathroom rug feels safer to pee on, a small puddle as a temporary way to rewrite her sense of control. Scientifically, researchers have found that testosterone in male cats clearly increases the tendency to patrol and mark with urine, spraying, which is usually on vertical surfaces in small amounts but with a strong, pungent smell. Even in high-rise apartments, many male cats' brains still process space like an outdoor territory. It must be checked, signed, and warned. In females, the brain prioritizes safety and vantage points. Over evolutionary time, most female cats had to choose nest sites and protect kittens, so high, quiet places with minimal physical contact became strategic assets. Puddles of urine on flat surfaces, like rugs, sofas, are more often a sign of stress, litter box dissatisfaction, or urinary issues than some kind of power struggle. In short, in most cases, male cats hold ground with scent and patrol routes, while female cats hold ground with height and gaze. But both can show insecurity through inappropriate urination. Tonight, if you want less smell and less tension on both sides, you can start with very simple steps. First, walk around your home and notice where Milo tends to spray. Near doors, corners, cabinet bases. Those are the hot spots on his territory map. Instead of just wiping quickly and using a scented floor cleaner, use an enzyme-based cleaner specifically designed for cat urine, one that actually breaks down the odor molecules your cat's nose can still detect. Then look up and see where Luna has chosen as her roof. If it's the kitchen counter, the fridge, or other areas you don't want her on, give her a clear alternative: a tall cat tree, some wall shelves, a bed on the windowsill. When there are enough allowed high spots to claim, many female cats naturally reduce their need to climb into forbidden zones. Finally, check the number of litter boxes, food bowls, and resting places. In a multi-cat home, you should have at least as many resources as cats, plus one extra litter box, so they don't have to fight for every little corner. For Luna, try reevaluating the litter box with more sympathy. Is it too close to the washing machine, the door, or busy walkways? Is the new litter too perfumed, too dusty, or completely different in texture? Simply moving the box to a quieter corner, keeping it truly clean, a bathroom you would willingly use, and choosing a litter with less artificial scent has helped many female cats stop seeking out rugs, beds, and sofas as their temporary toilets. There's an important line between territorial behavior and an SOS signal about health. If you see your cat going into the box repeatedly, but only straining out a few drops, crying in pain, licking their genitals much more than usual, if the urine has blood, looks odd, or a cat that used to have perfect toilet habits suddenly starts peeing everywhere along with signs of fatigue, hiding, and loss of appetite, this is no longer just their personality. Especially in male cats, urinary blockage can become life-threatening in a short time. In that case, the only correct solution is to get your cat to the vet immediately, not wait a couple of days to see if it goes away.
Number 2. Affection and interaction. Milo is glued to you. Luna loves quietly but deeply. In the evening, you sit down on the sofa, not even finished choosing a movie, when Milo appears from nowhere, jumps straight onto your lap, spins around, and ends up lying right on top of the remote. He puts his full weight on you, purring steadily, occasionally lifting his head to rub his chin against your hand as if saying, "Do whatever you want, as long as I'm here." You stand up to get some water, and he immediately jumps down, runs after you into the kitchen, and waits right at your feet. Luna chooses a different approach. She's already on the windowsill, where she can see both the living room and the hallway. When you sit down, she opens her eyes, looks at you for a moment, gives a slow blink, then rests her chin back on her paws. Sometime later, when Milo is already sound asleep on your lap, she quietly jumps down and walks closer, not to climb onto you, but to lie down at just the right distance. In Luna's camera, that distance is where she can hear your breathing, feel your warmth, but still keep the right to retreat at any time. Through human eyes, it's very easy to conclude Milo is affectionate, Luna is cold and distant. But if you switch to the cat's perspective, with a bit of science added, you'll see that both are saying, "I trust you," just in two different languages. Behavioral researchers point out that in nature, male cats don't bear the burden of pregnancy, nursing, and keeping the nest safe like females do. They have more bandwidth to roam, encounter others, and form loose social relationships with multiple individuals. That template is reflected in pet cats. Many males, especially after neutering, tend to be more open and proactive in seeking contact. They're quicker to approach, ask for petting, and climb onto people. Females, on the other hand, have brains that are more heavily invested in stability and vigilance. In the evolutionary script, they must choose nesting places, shelter their young, and cannot afford to be careless with risk. So many female cats love in a selective way. They observe longer, test from a distance, then only allow themselves to lie close to someone they truly trust. In most cases, when a female cat chooses to lie near you, even if not on your lap, it's already a very strong sign of trust. There's another layer that heavily shapes how clingy a cat is: early life experience. Kittens that are picked up properly and stroked gently during the first weeks often grow up more trusting of humans, regardless of sex. Conversely, a male cat that was hit, grabbed, or squeezed too tightly may avoid hands for life. A female raised with kindness can be the gentlest, most snuggly creature in the house. Sex creates tendencies, but past experiences and environment decide how those tendencies show up. Tonight, instead of petting on autopilot, treat this as a reset for how you respond to Milo and Luna's affection. With Milo, every time he climbs onto your lap and settles down, give him a few minutes of focused petting, then stop before he gets irritated. You can place a towel or a small bed right next to you and quietly teach him his official spot. Whenever he chooses to lie there, gently praise him and talk to him. Whenever he jumps onto your keyboard, simply and calmly lift him and place him back in the new spot. No scolding, no harsh pushing. After a few days, many male cats start to understand that they can still be close to you, just in a way that's more comfortable for both sides. With Luna, the most important thing is not to rush. When she chooses to lie near you, even if it's just on the edge of the sofa or the foot of the bed, don't pull her closer or try to pick her up. Let your hands relax, give her a slow blink, say a few soft words, and let her decide whether to close the distance further. A quiet high spot with a towel or shirt that smells like you is a wonderful gift for a discreetly loving female. It's a place where she can feel she belongs without anyone forcing intimacy on her. Regardless of sex, be cautious if a cat used to be very cuddly but suddenly avoids touch, growls or bites when you touch a specific area of the body, suddenly becomes too clingy, meows a lot, follows you everywhere but eats less and plays less and looks tired, abruptly withdraws, reacts less, and no longer enjoys forms of petting they previously loved. Changes like these are often signs of pain, discomfort, or severe stress, not just a personality shift. If this lasts for more than a few days, especially with loss of appetite, vomiting, weight loss, or changes in toilet habits, that's when you should let a vet check things out, instead of trying to retrain the cat at home. Number 3. Play and hunting. Luna is the precision assassin, Milo is the hyperactive kid. Playtime. You walk through the living room holding a feather wand. Milo only needs to see the toy stick appear for a second before he launches himself like a rocket. He jumps, skids, bangs into chair legs, misses the prey, then immediately circles back, eyes bright like his batteries just got replaced. Every flick of the toy, he dives after it without thinking. What matters isn't catching it perfectly, but running, leaping, and burning off the buzzing energy that's been simmering inside him all day. Luna is completely different. When you sweep the wand in front of her, she's almost motionless. She lowers her body, her eyes narrow into thin slits, her pupils contract, and her whole body becomes tense without wasting a single movement. The toy passes once, twice, she stays frozen like a statue. Then suddenly, in a flash you can barely register,
Her whole body springs up in a perfect arc. She lands on target, pins it, bites, shakes, and finishes the prey properly. If you look casually, you might think Milo likes to play, Luna is lazy. But if you take a step back and turn on the camera in a cat's head, the truth is the opposite. Both are hunting, just using different strategies. Scientifically, researchers suggest that in nature, most female cats need to feed themselves and their kittens, so their brains are tuned to efficient, precise hunting. They're willing to stay still for long periods, observing the target until they've calculated the movement pattern, distance, and best opportunity, then spend a bigger burst of energy on one decisive strike. The wait forever, attack once play style you see in the living room is really a soft version of the survival strategy from open fields long ago. Male cats, on the other hand, spend more energy guarding territory, facing rivals, and moving over a wider area. Their brains more easily flip into run, jump, collide mode with minimal trigger. Many male cats play explosively and chaotically, missed jumps, slipping, spinning, chasing anything that moves, from balls and crumpled paper to their own shadow on the wall. For their bodies, these are training drills for muscles, joints, and reflexes, not embarrassing hunting failures. Tonight, if you want to speak each cat's play language correctly, you don't have to overhaul your whole routine. Just tweak how you handle toys. For Milo, short but intense sessions before bedtime can reduce his midnight zoomies. A few rounds with the wand or a small ball, moving fast and unpredictably so he can run, jump, and change direction, then end with a few successful catches and a small meal. A cat's brain loves the hunt-eat-sleep cycle, and if you let him complete it properly, both of you are likely to sleep more peacefully. For Luna, you need more patience with the quiet moments. Once she's in stalking mode, don't rush to think she's not into it. Let's change games. Move the toy low to the ground, in winding patterns like real prey, slow down as she gets closer, disappear behind a corner and appear again. Give her time to complete the observe, calculate, decide sequence. And when she does pounce, you'll see how satisfying that rare strike is. Totally different from Milo's string of clumsy jumps. As with everything else, play has its red flags. A cat that used to enjoy play but now ignores all toys, avoids movement, just lies in one spot and breathes faster than usual, or the opposite, playing happily and then suddenly growling, biting hard at your hand, or repeatedly attacking one area of her own body like hips, back, or legs, often isn't just in a mood. It can be a sign of pain, strain, or underlying illness. If this lasts for a few days along with reduced appetite, weight loss, or vomiting, it's best to let a vet check things out instead of trying to retrain the cat at home. When you see Milo as a little boy who needs to burn off his battery after a long day, and Luna as a tiny assassin polishing her hunting skills in the most refined way, you'll be less annoyed by his couch-destroying jumps and less disappointed by her long stretches of stillness. In the world of cats, play is not an extra entertainment when there's time. It's the only way their brains and bodies can feel they're still doing what they were born to do, even within four walls.
Number 4. Exploration and escape attempts. Why Milo always bolts for the door while Luna just watches from afar. In the afternoon, you open the door to grab a delivery. The moment the lock turns, Milo appears like a furry bullet, shooting straight at the crack of the door. You manage to block him with your leg, but he still tries to wedge his shoulder through the gap, inhaling the hallway air as hard as he can. Every time the door opens, your heart skips a beat, because if you're even half a second late, Milo could already be at the far end of the corridor. Luna stands a few steps back. She approaches just enough to smell the outside air, ears tilted toward the hallway, eyes tracking Milo's wriggling body, then stops at her invisible boundary. In Luna's camera, the safe world ends right at the threshold. Beyond it is something worth knowing, but not necessary to step into. Scientifically, researchers have found that in nature, male cats often have larger roaming ranges than females. They travel farther to find mates, mark territory, and avoid or confront rivals. Many males' brains still draw wider maps, making them easily triggered by cracking doors, strange smells, and hallway noises, especially when sex hormones are still active. Females, meanwhile, maintain smaller, tightly controlled areas. They prioritize knowing every inch of a safe zone over expanding territory at any cost. In pet cats, this pattern often repeats. Milo is always looking for a chance to slip through the door, while Luna is content to stand inside and watch. Tonight, you can't erase that instinct, but you can make it less dangerous. Look at your home through the eyes of an escape artist. Does the front door have 2 layers of protection? Are there balcony or window gaps wide enough for a cat to squeeze through? Can you link the high-risk times, like leaving for work or receiving packages, with a quick play session for Milo beforehand so he isn't overflowing with energy right when the door opens? If you want to let your cats experience the outside world, think about slowly training them to wear a harness and leash indoors first, rather than letting them explore on their own with a sudden dash into the hallway or street. A collar with an ID tag or a microchip after discussing it with your vet is also a quiet but important safety layer if things go wrong. There are some risks you simply shouldn't gamble with. A cat that ran away and then returned with bite marks, scratches, limping, or obsessively licking one spot, or one that comes back reeking of garbage, oil, or heavy dirt, needs to see a vet as soon as possible. A cat that, after a single escape, becomes obsessed with the door, meowing, scratching for hours, eating less, playing less, always tense like a drawn bow, is probably carrying more than just a fun little adventure memory. And if you live near busy roads, areas with many loose dogs, rat poison, traps, or chemicals, then every let them go out just to see is no longer an experience, it's a gamble. Once you understand that Milo wants to rush out not because he hates home, but because his brain still remembers he was born to go beyond 4 walls, and that Luna keeps a small territory but knows every corner because that's how she feels safe, you'll less be angry about sudden door heists. Instead, you'll focus on enriching their indoor world. Cat trees, window views, games, and time you actively spend with them. Sometimes when the world at home is interesting enough, the doorway outside becomes much less tempting. Number 5. Social behavior, anxiety and neutering or spaying, male cats as social butterflies, female cats as stability addicts. One quiet evening, you're on the sofa video calling friends. Just a few minutes later, Milo shows up, jumps onto the couch, wedges himself between you and the screen, rubs his head against your hand, and casually shows his soft belly to the stranger on camera. The door is slightly open, a guest walks in, and he runs up first to sniff, rub against their pant leg, and might even hop on the chair to sit with them like they're a new member of his social group. Luna takes a different role. As soon as she hears an unfamiliar voice, she leaves the sofa and moves back to the windowsill or edge of the bed. She doesn't disappear completely, she's still in the room, still watching, but she keeps a fixed distance. Every loud laugh, every chair scraping sound makes her ears twitch. If the conversation goes on long enough, Luna may stretch out and pretend to sleep, but her eyes stay slightly open, ready to retreat into a hiding spot in a single spring. In her camera, the presence of strangers is a variable to monitor, not an opportunity to make friends. Scientifically, researchers have observed that many male cats, especially those that are neutered and live in a stable environment, tend to be more social. They approach strangers more easily, actively seek attention, and tolerate a higher level of social disruption. In nature, males often have to accept overlapping territories, reading the intentions of many other individuals to avoid unnecessary conflict, so their brains are used to processing a diverse flow of social information. Female cats, meanwhile, are often obsessed with stability. In evolutionary terms, they're tightly tied to the nest, birthing area, and a small but well-controlled safe zone. Their brains are therefore more sensitive to change. New people, new smells, moved furniture, strange sounds are all flagged as potential risks. In most cases, they don't attack immediately, they choose to withdraw, watch for a long time, and only open up again when the environment returns to a familiar rhythm. When changes happen too fast, moving house, adding new pets, having a baby, constant renovations,
These differences can push anxiety levels up. Milo might respond by clinging to you more, meowing more, inserting himself into everything as a way to anchor his sense of safety. Luna may instead vanish under the bed, eat less, play less, over-groom until she creates bald patches, or pee in places she feels are safer than her old litter box. Tonight, instead of just thinking, this one is extroverted, that one's introverted, try adjusting the environment a bit so neither has to constantly hold themselves together. Keep some fixed points unchanged: the location of litter boxes, main food bowls, and favorite sleeping spots. If you have to remodel or move furniture, try to leave at least one intact corner for the cats. For big changes like guests staying for days or a new pet, give your cats a safe zone room with a litter box, water, bed, and a rule that guests and kids don't go in. Spend one-on-one time with each cat. A few focused minutes of play with Milo to help him burn off social energy. A few quiet minutes with Luna where you don't force touch. Just sit near her in a spot she chooses, so she feels that stability comes from you. Watch where Luna chooses to hide when the house is a bit noisy or there are visitors, and accept that spot as her official shelter. Don't constantly clear it out, don't drag her out, don't use it as a punishment zone. Simply acknowledging one stable, safe place helps many female cats lower their baseline anxiety. Regardless of sex, you should see a vet if your cat hides almost all day, rarely comes out to eat, doesn't play, and avoids even familiar people for more than a few days. Starts licking fur until it's bald in patches, chewing skin, scratching themselves, or clearly changes their eating and toilet habits. After a stressful event, moving, surgery, loud explosions, becomes extremely jumpy, breathes fast, eyes wide, and struggles to relax even in a quiet environment. At that point, it's no longer just a bit shy or a little cranky. The anxiety and discomfort are usually strong enough to affect health. A vet can help rule out medical issues and advise you on short-term medication support or a detailed environmental adjustment plan tailored to your individual cat.
If we temporarily take Luna, Milo, and Oscar out of the frame and keep only the hormone curves, brain regions, and evolutionary history, the picture of male cats and female cats becomes much clearer. The differences you see every day, males patrolling, females claiming the tops of cabinets, one cat glued to you, the other keeping her distance, are not random, but they're not absolute verdicts either. They're simply probabilities that biology turns up higher in each sex. In male cats, testosterone is the key background soundtrack. It makes many of them more likely to expand their territory, mark with scent, go farther, react more strongly to strange smells and rivals, and be more open in loose social interactions. Their brains are used to calculating who's over there, whose area is this, and where's the gap I can squeeze into. In females, estrogen and progesterone, along with the heat cycle, pull the focus towards stability, choosing a nesting spot, protecting a small safe zone, being sensitive to changes in the home, and stressing more easily when the daily rhythm is disrupted. Behind all of that is evolution. The ancestors of our house cats, wild individuals living around grain stores, often formed clusters of females and female relatives sharing hunting areas and kitten care. Adult males moved over a wider range that overlapped with multiple female groups. That pattern left its mark on how their brains process space. Females invest in understanding one small fortress in great detail, while males accept living with shifting boundaries. Once you put them in an apartment, that fortress shrinks into a room, the top of a cabinet, a windowsill, and the male's roaming range gets compressed into patrol loops around the door, hallway, and windows. All of this is driven by a very familiar veterinary axis, the hypothalamus-pituitary-gonadal system. The hypothalamus receives signals from the environment, smells, sounds, the presence of other cats, sends messages to the pituitary, and from there to the testes or ovaries to release hormones. At the same time, regions like the amygdala and hippocampus store memories. The first time an outdoor cat attacked at the door, the first time a human grabbed too roughly, the first time the cat escaped to the top of a cabinet and felt safe. Genetics gives them a personality framework, but it's early life experiences that color each individual. A male cat raised in comfort can be far gentler than a female who once lived on the street.
When we neuter or spay, we don't erase this map, we just turn down the volume on the strongest signal lines. Testosterone drops and the urges to roam, mark, and respond to every strange smell ease off. The heat cycle ends, and the bouts of crying, restlessness, and desperate attempts to escape in female cats quiet down. In many cats, what appears afterward is not a brand new personality, but a clearer version of who they already were. Easygoing but less conflict-driven, sensitive but less yanked back and forth by hormones like a pendulum. So when you call Luna the female and Milo the male, remember that's just the biological base layer, not the final label. Science gives you a general map, which tendencies often come with which sex, how certain hormones tend to push behavior, and what kinds of environments are more likely to unsettle them. The rest, and the most important part, is watching each individual with eyes fluent in two languages, the language of genes and the language of every small experience they live through each day, so you can adjust your home routine and way of touching them to match the particular brain they're living in.
By this point, you've probably seen pretty clearly that many things we blame on male cats or female cats are actually misunderstandings. If you don't clear these old labels, you'll pick the wrong cat, misjudge their personality, and then handle their behavior in ways that make everything worse. Myth 1: male cats are always affectionate, female cats are always cold. In reality, sex only creates tendencies. Many males are more open, many females are more cautious. Whether one cat clings to you like glue and another loves you silently depends heavily on early socialization, experiences with humans, and their later living environment. A male cat that was grabbed, chased, or scared as a kitten can absolutely grow up to avoid people. A female raised in a safe, loving space can easily become the most cuddly ball of fluff in the house. Myth 2: male cats naturally spray everywhere, female cats are cleaner. Yes, intact males do tend to spray more, but timely neutering, reducing stimulation from strange cats, and providing enough resources, separate litter boxes, beds, food bowls, can make many males almost stop marking indoors. On the other hand, females can still pee in the wrong places if they're stressed or have urinary tract problems. Lumping every urine spot under male cat behavior is a very quick way to miss serious medical warning signs. Myth 3: spaying or neutering makes cats lose their personality and just eat and sleep. Spaying or neutering only turns down the volume of hormonal noise. It doesn't erase their character. Weight gain and laziness afterward usually come from unchanged feeding routines and a lack of exercise, not from surgery breaking the cat. In most cases, you'll see a clearer, easier to live with version of the same individual, not a totally different creature. A very common mistake is choosing a cat based only on, I want a male because they're more affectionate, or a female because they're calmer. When you do that, you skip history and environment, the things that actually determine whether that cat can live well with you. Next time, instead of asking the sex first, spend a few minutes observing. Which cat approaches you on their own, and which one only dares to lie nearby? Which one panics at small sounds? What does their previous caregiver say about their eating, play, and toilet habits? The second mistake is responding with punishment, yelling, spraying water, pinning the cat down when they spray, growl, or hide. A cat's brain doesn't understand punishment, so they'll stop next time. It only learns that you are another source of threat. With a male that is already worried, the more you scold, the more he feels the need to mark to feel safe. With a female that is already scared, the more you grab at her, the deeper she'll retreat. The fix is to swap the question in your head from, how do I make this cat obey, to what is this cat afraid of, lacking, or hurting from, and then address the context, not your anger. Tonight, just skim through these questions. Does each cat have at least one high, quiet spot that no one takes away from them? Do you have at least as many litter boxes as cats, plus one extra? And are the boxes in truly quiet places, not by doors, washing machines, or noisy areas? Do you spend 10 to 15 minutes a day in focused play, not just a few absent-minded strokes while staring at your phone? Have both your male and female cats been discussed with a vet regarding spay or neuter at the right time? If several answers are no, pick just one small thing and do it tonight. One small change repeated consistently often makes a bigger difference than you'd expect. Red flags.
Regardless of male or female, if you notice that a cat that used to be friendly now hides constantly, avoids touch, growls, or bites when handled, and this lasts for many days, they start grooming until fur is gone in patches, chewing skin, scratching themselves, or clearly changes their eating and toilet habits, their toilet habits suddenly change, going into the box repeatedly and straining, peeing on the floor, urine with blood, or an odd smell, then this is usually no longer about sex or personality, but about pain, stress, or illness. That's the moment to stop all attempts to retrain the cat and take your cat to the vet so neither of you has to guess an anxiety. Tonight, before you go to bed, try turning off a few lights, let the house settle into real quiet, and look at each of them one more time. Milo, the male cat you've complained about as clingy like glue and destructive like a little demon, may simply be trying to do exactly what his tiny brain is whispering. Guard the home, guard you, and check every corner to make sure nothing strange slips into the world the two of you share. Every patrol lap, every scent mark, every time he crawls into your lap right when you're busy, most of it comes from one very simple need. I only feel safe when I'm close to you. Luna, the female cat you've labeled more than once as moody and distant, may never have been truly cold at all. She's just a small creature that chooses to love in the safest way she knows, always keeping a high perch for herself, an escape route, and a distance that's just right so if the world suddenly gets loud, she still has a way back. Every time she lies one arm's length away from you, every slow blink, every night she quietly sleeps on the windowsill facing the bed is also a declaration we often miss. I trust you enough to stay here. If you only look through the eyes of a hurried human, Milo will always be that annoying male, and Luna will always be that difficult female. But when you let yourself lean down just a little, seeing the world from the height of short legs and a heart that depends on your hands for its entire life, everything starts to change color. The same behaviors, once you understand the hormones, instincts, memories, and worries behind them, stop being things you want to fix to suit you, and start becoming signals that make you want to adjust the world around them so they can stay who they are and still be safe. And maybe that is the real superpower of a cat guardian. Not picking the right sex or guessing the right personality, but being willing to learn each cat's own language and admitting that they're not annoying, not difficult, they're just trying to live as steadily as they can in a universe where every switch is in your hands. If you feel your thoughts about male cats and female cats have shifted even a little, don't forget to leave a comment telling us about them, hit like and subscribe so we can keep decoding dozens of other quiet stories between you and your own little royalty. A gentle reminder, our team works with veterinarians. If your cat shows any unusual signs or worrying symptoms, leave a comment below. We'll read it and support you as best we can. In an emergency, please take your cat to a clinic right away.